Howdy friends, it's me, Derek, Leica101, coming back with another May the 4th video. And this video is going to mostly be me rambling about my Skull Shackles campaign and the group that I have that is playing through it. So if you want to avoid spoilers, or if you're playing in Skull Shackles game, I strongly suggest that you don't watch this video. If you're not and you want to know what's going on with me and my group, or if you have any questions, comments about the game, how it's going, put them in the comments below, and I will gladly answer them. So, Skull and Shackles, supposed to be for a group of 4, but I'm running at a group of 5. I have 3 guys, 2 girls, and that's actual people, not the characters' sexes, so, in case you're wondering. I have this is all in my home setting, so it's adapted from the printed product, and I have a Waves Oracle, who's playing a human. He is a 69, I think is how his age is, 69-year-old man, whose name is Haverhill, and he is the captain of the ship. We are currently on book 2, so they've already got their own ship, and so he's the captain. That's Captain Haverhill. We have our quartermaster, who is a half-elf magus with a blade-bound archetype, so he has an intelligent sword named Bobaritham Vantar, or Bob, who is very interesting, and Bob is who likes women. Bob likes women a lot, but he can't do anything with women. He's very jealous. And the Elven Magus is named Mr. Grey, Mr. Earl Grey, and he has an affinity for tea. We also have our third male is a tiefling anti-paladin who worships his own deity called the Claw, and it's literally a spiked gauntlet that has gained intelligence. And like I said, he's a tiefling. I think I said that. He's a tiefling. And his name is Gaiak. Our fourth group member, these are our girls, are Grunt, who is playing she's a female orc, and that is a full orc. She's a barbarian. And then we have, last but not least, our Shadarkai Knife Master Rogue, who's already prestiged into Shadow Dancer, named Na'u. And Na'u is the ship's gunner, Grunt is the carpenter, and Gaiak is the bosun. So that's a party. They all are really enjoying the campaign. They love it. Their ship is actually called the Long Night, and it has black sails, a dragon figurehead, and dark redwood or like mahogany kind of finish on the hull. And they have this awesome little thing that they like to do in order to make a name for themselves and to basically coerce cities and towns into giving up large sums of money to avoid attack. They send a letter ahead with ravens, a messenger raven, or in this case like messenger parrots, and they send them ahead and into the town, and they find their way to a prominent individual, and the message simply says, the long night approaches, pay or you will never see the dawn. So it's really creepy. They attack only at night. The Shadarkai gets better bonuses, as the Shadow Dancer gets better bonuses at night, and can use the shadows to their advantage. They have successfully taken 2 towns without no one even knowing they were there until it was too late. They have a wonderful group dynamic for the most part. Sometimes they have a little back and forth between each other. Grunt likes to just go in and bash everything over the head like a good barbarian, but Haverhill likes to have things planned, and the group likes to go through a lot of planning, so sometimes things take a little longer than I know I would like. But they just finished, not last weekend, not this weekend, but last. For those of you that are playing through Skull and Shackles or who know about it, through book 2, and they just avoided the Dominator, successfully climbed aboard, disabled the rudder chain, killed the leader, or the bosun rather, from the ship, and made good their escape before the Dominator could catch up. So now the players don't know this, but the two that went aboard, which would have been Na'u and Mr. Gray, the rogue and the magus, snuck aboard and were seen, and now that there's a bounty on their heads from the Etherean Navy. That's my version, I guess, of Cheliax, I guess, or what I've changed them into. So I'm going to make up these cool wanted posters and hand them out as to the players and be like, hey, look, you guys are walking through some town and you see these wanted posters, and it'll be a cool handout, I feel, for the players. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. If anybody is running Skull Shackles, I would love to hear about your campaign, what you've done to change things. One of the things I've done to change things is in part 1 there's this creature called the Brine Mother, I think is what her name is, or Brine Brood Queen, I think that's what her name is. She's with the whale end of book 1 right before the mutiny. I changed her name to the Brood Mother, and all of the little Grindylow, she's that Grindylow witch. I changed all the Grindylow creatures to her children, and they like worship the ground she walks on because she's like their mother. And she actually escaped, so it was a very unfortunate turn of events. I changed a little bit about what the whale could do, and he actually attempted to swallow whole the bosun Gaiac. So our tiefling anti-paladin almost died. He barely avoided being swallowed whole, and was dropped from the fight pretty early. So the party was freaking out. They had no idea what to do. At the time, the barbarians pushed up against the wall. You can't be in two places at once. And the broodmother ultimately escapes. So now I have her kind of waiting in the wings in the background. She's going to hook up with the Shahao again in book 2 and help them out. And it's going to be very crazy and interesting to see what comes out of that. And I figure it's a nice way to tie books 1 and 2 together in this nice background plot of what's going on. Currently, the players, we ended our last session with them coming upon Tidewater Rock, and again, this is something I changed. I changed this based on something I saw from the Chronicles Pathfinder podcast. They have an awesome Twitch TV channel in which they record their sessions. They're available for about a week, and I heard this idea and I stole it instantly. The GM for that game, replaced the ballistas that are on top of Tidewater Rock with a massive, archaic-looking cannon that currently doesn't function. They don't know if it's ever functioned. Something crucial is missing from it, or no one just really knows how to operate it. So we ended with last session with a long night sailing in, looking towards Tidewater Rock to finally take the rock and crack the rock. And sitting on top of it is a cannon. Now everybody on the crew has this. They know cannons exist. They have this real drive to get a cannon. And once they saw that, they got all this twinkle in their eye, and I'm trying to avoid my mischievous grin because they don't know it's broken. So they're like freaking out, but awed at the same time. And I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with Tidewater Rock. They're very cautious. Captain Haverhill, for the most part, is a very quiet, reclusive captain. He lets the quartermaster, Mr. Gray, do a lot of the talking. Mr. Gray is very charismatic. He lets him do the talking until a certain point, and then the captain will step in. So I don't know if they will directly attack Tidewater Rock outright, or if they will take the other options presented, which is to have dinner with the lady of the castle, or will they just, pretend to have dinner and then just attack her. Personally, I'm hoping that they don't attack and they befriend the residents of Tidewater Rock and use Tidewater Rock as their base, because they have a lot of plans and personal backstories that are going on at the moment. But what they are all starting to realize is, their ship is a good base, but they need something more permanent, something more away from everybody else, so that way they can keep coming back to. And if they take Tidewater Rock, either way, I feel that I could do a lot with Tidewater Rock if they took it peacefully. Also, just because I like all the NPCs that are really involved with Tidewater Rock, and because Haverhill is a pervy old man who likes his young women. And he talks like this. The player always makes Haverhill's voice like this. So it's really fun. And I have it so he's like kind of like a grandfatherly figure to all these young ladies. They're like, oh, silly Haverhill or silly old man. So like bar wenches are like, it's okay, Grandpa. And so that like ruffles his feathers because he's looked at as such an old man and knows he can't get anything. And he secretly has this crush on Sandara Quinn from one of the NPCs. But I'm hoping he could actually marry the Lady of Tidewater Rock, which would be very interesting. But that's all speculation at this point because we will be playing next weekend, and it'll be our last session of the semester because our college school year here will have ended, and then we were all gone for the summer, and they were all very sad. But we will be playing this, picking it right back up after the summer's done, and it won't be very long until we finish book 2. Personally, I'm loving the campaign. It's great. All the players are enjoying it. They have a lot of buy-in to the campaign, and they're really excited to see what comes out of it. They are, all of them for the most part, new to gaming. They've never actually run a full long campaign before. 2 of the players have never played before. That would be Grunt and Mr. Gray. They've never played before. Na'u has never played a character for longer than up to level 4. And Gaiak has been in one campaign and that went to completion, and not Mr. Gray, Haverhill has been in a bunch of one-shots and small games, but never done a long campaign. So it feels nice to actually be able to give these guys a really long-running campaign, and I hope they all enjoy it. So we're approaching the 13-minute mark here, guys. I feel like I've rambled on and on about my group and a little bit about the game. If you guys want me to continue my ramblings and maybe turn these into some kind of like campaign session summaries or something, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Maybe they won't be every week, but maybe every 2 weeks I can give you more in depth about the characters and their backgrounds, and maybe I'll do like a cool write-up thing or something. I don't know, but it's up to you guys. Let me know what you want me to do with this. I just figured this would be a fun May the 4th video. You guys could ask questions and do a nice little tag in down in the comments. So let me know what you guys think. This has been fun. I know I'm having a lot of fun. May the 4th be with you guys. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Get out there. Play some games. Have a good time. I've been Derek, Lycan 101. This is the page. Many things. Thanks for watching.